Hey up, my ducks. How is everybody doing? Wow, so many of you chatting already in the chat, which is always lovely. I always rush around the last couple of minutes to get my coffee, and then I come back and I always like to have a quick read through and see what people are chatting about. So let's do some hellos and welcomes. First one in quite a while ago was Ramon. Nice to see you, Ramon. And we've got the lovely Joanne. How are you? Butterfly. Hello, Butterfly. And Caroline. The lovely Navneet from the Wandering Star. Our Sandra. Hi, Sandra. We have Emma and Frank. We have Tortoiseshell Moon. Tycon. Hello, Tycon. Kristen Louise. How are you? Nice to see you. Shelby. Kay. Hello, Kay. Learning the Path. Nice to see you too. And we have, don't want to miss anybody out. Kelly, I think Kelly to Carter, nice to see you. Our Becca's here, hi Becca. Emma and Dee. Patricia, hello Patricia. Tamaya, nice to see you, as always. Frank. Barefoot Pagan, hello Celia, how are you? I've just listened to you actually, and I was going to message because I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning walking my friend's dog, and it's just been one of those weeks. It has been a really, really tough week in more ways than one, and I just felt exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So at 1:45, I went to bed, and as I got into bed, I put Celia's video on Barefoot Pagan walking, and I can hear her talking about the blustery winds, and I was thinking, yeah, I've been out this morning. It's very blustery today. Lovely, sunny, warm, but really blustery. And yeah, I listened to Celia's video. Then when she finished, I fell asleep, and then I thought, oh, I need to leave a message, but forgot. Who else have we got coming in? We've got Lisa and Sarah and Sarah, Witch of Cups. Yeah, I think I've caught up with everybody. So hello and welcome. Have you all got a cuppa? I've got my cup of coffee. Oh, which is nice. So yeah, so that was my story. I went to sleep probably about, after listening to the video, probably about 1 o'clock, thinking I'll just have an hour, just have an hour. I woke up at 5:15. I never sleep in the day. Well, say never. That's not strictly true. It's very rare I sleep in the day, and it's even rarer that I actually go to bed. But sometimes you just have to listen to your body, and I was exhausted, so off I went. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you, and Layla, and everybody else that's coming in. Yeah, so there isn't a set agenda today because I've been lazy and I hadn't had time to prepare. So I just thought, well, do you know what? Rather than not do a live, I'll just come on and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Really, the floor is open. Hello, Jack. Really nice to see you again. I hope you're doing well. What I did want to mention before I forget, because I forgot last week, and I've had numerous emails and messages about it. And I said, there's nothing I can do other than just to mention it in a live and make you aware. So a few people will have heard me mention on the channel that I've got a Facebook group called The Hermit's Cave. And it was brought to my attention a couple of weeks ago that there is another Facebook group calling themselves The Hermit's Cave. And a few people had joined that thinking that it was our Hermit's Cave. So, you can't do anything about it. People can call their groups whatever they want to call, and if there's more than one by that name, so be it. But I can make you aware so that you know that if you are in a group called the Hermit's Cave and it seems very quiet because this group has 111 members. It did have 130 something a couple of weeks ago, and they post on average 3 times a week, whereas our Hermit's Cave has 4,000 members, and it's quite busy, and it might not be for everybody, you know, but you can kind of participate as much or as little as you want. What was that? So Becca, wing it like I do, Simon. Sometimes it's your only option, isn't it? So the Hermit's Cave, that is our Hermit's Cave, linked to this channel, looks like that when you search for it. So you'll see it says the Hermit's Cave, and underneath it's got 4,000 members. Yeah, I'm not going to show the other one because I'm not going to promote it. But they started theirs last year, but 6 weeks ago changed the title to the Hermit's Cave. I don't know the reason why. I'm not going to speculate. They've got every right to call their group whatever they want, like anybody does. But if you're in a Hermit's Cave Facebook group and it doesn't look like that, then you're probably in the wrong group if you want to be in this group. And if you're here and you're watching and you want to be a part of the group, when you're searching for the Hermit's Cave, there'll be two options coming up. So you'll be looking for the one that looks like that. And I just want to say thank you to Christoph James as well, because he created this new banner for me, which for Facebook works like a dream. I was just able to upload it, fit perfectly. I cannot get it to, for the life of me, get it to fit YouTube. Gone into YouTube Studio, it's just saying it must be at least these megapixels and that megapixels. I've gone on all the YouTube tutorials and I've dragged the slider bar and I've got it how they're saying, and I did manage to get one that would go on, but the little window that it shows you how it's going to appear across 3 devices, TV, tablets and phones and laptops, it's taking like the smallest part of it, and I don't know. I just don't know how to do it. If there's anybody out there, and I have asked Christoph, and he said it's how it appears on his phone. But if there is anybody out there who knows how to do banners on YouTube, then shout me, because I'm stuck, completely stuck. I can't work it out. I am a bit of a technophobe, believe it or not. I'm not a whiz when it comes to IT and things. Well, yes, thank you, Christoph, for sending me that. And it was very, very good, because at one side, very faintly, I don't know if you've noticed, if you're in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, you'll see it's gone up. It says the original, and he did that because of the, you know, the other group, so you kind of know that that's the original Hermit's Cave. Let's see what you guys are saying. So you must have needed it. My mum always used to say that. Yeah, I slept for 10 hours last night. Well, you must have needed it. I've been watching your videos this week. Have you, Mike? Any particular ones that jump out? And also, I don't know why now, certain comments are kind of like highlighted in white as you scroll up. Certain ones are highlighted in white. Most bizarre. Kay's eating avocado on toast. How decadent. Do you like avocado? We can't have them. I follow him, but you can. It's just that it's very high in value with the fat content. And I know it's healthy fat, but it's still fat. Drinking buttermint tea. Oh, I love buttermint tea. I've not had that for a while. There was a craze in our community for buttermint tea about 4 years ago. Oh, Pay, you've got COVID. First time you've eaten in 3 days. You've obviously had a bad dose then. It never affected my taste or smell or anything when I had it. Mike said, Facebook are useless. I've had people clone my page, steal my videos and photos, and yet Facebook doesn't seem to be terrible. That's terrible. Which is Simon, I see CNC is great medicine. Well, lots of love and healing for you. Lovely. Imposter, says Becca. Well, somebody said to me once, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. So it's lovely. It's lovely that people. I mean, it's sad that, and I'm going to be assuming that they're doing it deliberately. It might not be. They might not even know about the Hermit's Cave. Just because they're a tarot group doesn't mean they know. So I can't assume they know. So either it's done totally in ignorance, although a few people that have messaged me have said we have told them, and the name is still the same, or yeah, perhaps they want to be called that, so hoping that people join, which that's sad, just the original. Your audio is different today. There's a bit of an echo and reverberation. Oh, is there? I can go and get my AirPods. If it's, let me know, everyone. If it's too distracting, I'm happy to go and get my AirPods and see if that makes any difference. Feeling somewhat better today. I'm out of bed, which is good. That is good. YouTube banners are so obnoxious. Kristen, why can't they make them easy? How come Facebook has got issues? They're not the best platform, but it just went straight on. Why can't YouTube? Why can't it be the same? In Canva, you can usually use a banner template. Well, that's what one of the YouTube tutorials said. And so I tried that. I downloaded Canva. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I was able to drag the picture on top of. You can only choose pre-existing template and position it and then save it. But it did exactly the same thing when I saved it and uploaded it to the computer. It still said it must be a minimum of 1075 pixels by 700 and something pixels. I was like, oh, so that didn't even work. Who stopped making videos after getting a stalker? Who's that? Oh, L of Sacred Seed. Oh, is that what happened? That is so annoying because L from Sacred Seed is one of my introductions into the world of YouTube. Found her 6 years ago now. Loved her content and what she didn't know about tarot wasn't worth knowing. Really, really informative content. Just really, really enjoyable. And then yeah, just all of a sudden just disappeared. So that's a shame that that's the reason. But people will leave YouTube for all different reasons, and many of us have come close before for other reasons. Where sometimes you just have to think, is it worth it? I do YouTube because it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy connecting with you guys. I look forward to Saturdays. I enjoy making content and sharing decks and everything else, walks out and about. I enjoy it. It's not a business for me. I don't monetize my channel because it's just for fun. But the moment when it stops being fun, then it becomes either a chore, which I quite everything doing, or because it becomes a really unpleasant place for you to bring in lots of different hoops to jump through and all that, then that would probably be the moment where you have to just weigh it up and think, is it worth it? Is it still fun making content? Simon, probably why you feel tired, mental stress, how horrible what people do today. Am I aware of? I'm like, oh no, don't tell me there's something out there that's, if it's mental stress and what people do today, I mean, it could be the state of the world that you're talking about, and absolutely with everything that's going on. I just caught a bit of the news before coming live as I was grabbing a coffee and stuff, and there's the British people that are captured in Russia and sentenced to death, and the whole Ukraine thing. Did you see the video that I uploaded earlier of this gorgeous deck? This deck is from Ukraine, Granny's Postcard Tarot. Absolutely love it. In fact, we'll do a card pull at the end, but That's from Macola, who is a friend that I have received many, many decks from in Ukraine. And if you want to do anything to support as a tarot community, then get behind creators and businesses in Ukraine to just help them. Terrible situation over there. Emma says, happy to help. As usually, easy to resize an image to fit a banner template. Emma, if you could, that would be wonderful. I've got I used to have, I don't know why I've not got that. I used to have a banner with my email address on, so I could just so that's my email address. If you are able to help, I'm happy to send you the image if it could be resized, and we'll give it a go. But yeah, thank you. That's really, really kind if you can do that. Actually, I had a couple of muffins for lunch. How nice. I've just had a moussaka, Summer World moussaka, which is quite nice. Some veggies. Not heard of those in a long time. I'm not sure how far behind I am now. Yes, sounding odd to me too. Okay, odd, different, not odd, 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 different. Let me just turn the sound up so I can hear it. Odd, different, not odd, odd. Shall I go and get me AirPods and let's see how that goes. I'll just pop off to go to another room to get them, so I'll be back. Okay, I've got them. Let's see if this picks up. Okay, so how is that? Is that better? Okay, is that better? That should have done it. Audio, AirPods. Muted now? I should be working now. Should be better. Yes. No sound, says Becca. Oh, there you are. So with the AirPods in, has that improved the sound from previous? I started not using the AirPods because people were saying, oh, we can hear an echo. Better sound. Good. We got there. So let's see what else everybody's saying. Very echoey on my, yeah, so we've sorted that. Might sound great for your videos, but my bank balance probably not so much. You've been buying some decks then, have you? What have we, has anybody been receiving anything fun and interesting in terms of decks? You're always clear to me, other than now. Yeah, well, hopefully we've got that. Becca says cave, Hermit's Cave, Baps or Cobs, fight. So in Becca's chat last night, we was talking about words that are quite colloquial. So depending on your location, you'll call things different things, and you'll call things differently depending on where you're from. And Baps is what Becca would call, what I call cobs. So bread rolls, basically, you that you'd put like a burger in, like a bun, but not necessarily a burger bun, just a cob. It's really hard to try and think of how else to say it to people who might not understand. Oh, Amanda's having a beer and a barbecue. Enjoy. Chuck on a sausage for me. We have a super full moon coming on Tuesday, so lots of funny cosmic energy. I've been awake at 5 a.m. every day this week. Oh, Butterfly really enjoyed the Granny's Postcard tarot deck. Yeah, it's just great. The quality is wonderful. It's that kind of art card, but it's just so joyful, so colourful, just really nice. I love it. It's all different kind of styles of postcards. They're all genuine postcards, going back over 100 years for some of them. So very vintage feel to the deck. Tarot and Witchery is waiting on Trash Panda. Don't think I've heard of that one. Tortoise Shell says, I've just Googled and ordered buttermint tea. I'm so suggestible. Oh wow, Kay's been very good and hasn't bought a deck in months. Thank you, Emma, for emailing me. I've just seen that you've said that. Sound is very gobbled. Am I sounding like a turkey? Gobbled is a good way to put it. Again, if we're talking about different words having different meanings in different parts of the world, then gobbled isn't a word that I would probably use to describe. But that's just me. It sounds okay to me, says Becca. Okay, this is the bit now where you're all saying muted, much better. Don't worry about it, I can hear you regardless. You are back. Beautiful sound. That's good. Let's took the echo off. Crystal clear. Just the queer tarot. How are you finding the queer tarot, Becca? And did anybody else get the queer tarot? I really enjoy it, and I still have it out on my my table. It's a really nice deck for a mass market deck. The quality is really good. So, and it's so reasonably priced. Oh, Sandra's traded a deck with the lovely Hazel Jane Tarot. I've not seen Hazel Jane, the lovely Sinead, for a while. I think she might have posted when I was away on holiday during last week. I'll have to go back and see. I missed quite a lot during that week I was away at the seaside. A cob here is a cob of corn. Yes, corn on the cob, we call it. Corn on the cob. Nice couple of babs. Steady, Becca, steady. Barns. Yeah, barn cakes, I've heard that one. Bread cakes, I've heard that one. Rolls. Bacon roll.
i.e. postcards. Love that idea. Yeah, the great. I mean, if you was a postcard collector, that's a very odd image, as I mentioned in the video. If you're a postcard collector, you could, make your own deck, because that's what this creator, Mykola, has done, is collected these postcards and made them fit a tarot. Well, it's done well. A couple of cards have been like, okay, I need to think about why you might have used that. Sandra has the queer tarot, just hasn't done a walkthrough. Are you going to do a walkthrough? Is it just you haven't had time yet? I know you've got quite a few decks to do walkthroughs of, haven't you? Mike's been so restless the past few days. Naughty Moon. Quality is amazing with that deck. Is that the queer tarot we're talking about? Witcher Cups, I love the queer tarot. The colours are just incredible, and it feels like a world that everyone would eventually feel welcomed into. Absolutely. I will do a walkthrough, Simon, just way behind. Yeah, I can understand that. So, over to you guys. Is there any questions? We can do a bit of a Q&A, or is there anything you want to see, chat about? Yes, it is. Oh yes, the deck that you're talking about is the queer tarot. Yeah, so anything in particular you want to talk about, I'm happy to be your muse for the next hour. Can I have an autograph? Why? I'm not quite sure why, but absolutely. Hello, Chris. How are you doing? How's things? How's your Saturday going? I said last week, didn't I? Gosh, Chris, I feel like I've not spoken to you for ages, and another week's passed, and I've still not spoken to you. It's just been one of those weeks. It's been an absolutely horrendous week in every sense. Have you reflected on your tarot card for 2022? Yes, my tarot card for 2022 was the Death card. So let's grab this a second. And it really, really has been a death year, not just in terms of physical death, but certainly in terms of endings and stuff like that. It's going to be, why can't I find it whenever? It should be at the bottom. No, it's not. Everybody knows what, well, I shouldn't assume everybody knows, but this is going to be right at the end, isn't it? There we are. Yeah, so the card of the year for me, and if people are thinking card of the year, it's your birthday. So the 2 digits. So if you're born the 9th, it'll be 09. Mine's the 15th, so it's 15, plus the month. So if you're November, 11, and then the 2022, and you add the digits up, anything from 22 and below, 22 being the full, is your card for the year. You do the same formula for your life path card, using the year that you're born rather than the year that you're on. So you get your life path card, in which mine is the Lovers, and you also can do a card each year. So it's a death year for me. And when I worked this out in December, just getting ready for my Christmas Cuppa catchment card, which I do with the lovely Jennifer Ball, every year, this come up, and I just thought, no, because my mum was ill, was really worried about her, and then 10 days into the new year, she passed away, and that, so far to date, is the biggest grief I've had to deal with, because I'm not partnered, I don't have children, so the closest person in my world was my mum, and to lose her to COVID right at the end game of the virus in terms of its impact was a devastating blow. And it was very much, you know, a physical death that as soon as I pulled this card flashed into my mind. But since then, it's really been a death year. I've heard of lots of situations, lots of endings, even recently, and I'm not going to go into it because it's quite personal and it's quite raw, but even within my immediate family this week, and hence the reason why it's been such a tough and challenging week for me this week, there has been an ending that is probably a permanent ending. And you know, we're all trying to kind of come to terms with that. So yeah, so in answer of the question, have I had time to kind of reflect on my year card? I think out of all, and this is the 6th year I've been doing year ahead and talking about them. I normally do. Simon says do. Normally do a part way through the year, which is now June, talking about how it's going, and I haven't done that, and because of everything that's been happening this week, it's still quite raw. So, you know, what I do have to accept is that change is inevitable. That's the whole thing about life. It's cyclical. You know, there's that constant cycle of change, acceptance that we have to come to, and then we go on into what comes next, even if it's new territory, uncharted territory. We just have to be accepted, and that acceptance is it's one of Kubler-Ross's stages of grief, isn't it? But it takes a while to get to that acceptance. For anything that we lose, loss is quite devastating, whether it's a physical loss of a loved one, or loss of a job, or a home, or a relationship, or something that's just really, really precious to us. It can be such a disruption. Then comes the acceptance, but then comes the sort of dealing with the fallout and rebuilding and reacclimatizing and everything else. So yeah, but thank you for the question. That was a good question. And if there's any more, then do pop them in. I'm going to go back and see if I've missed anything. So that's where I was up to with Emma's question. Hello, Debbie. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Saturday has been good, Simon. I was at Sandy's folks looking after the dog. Oh, nice. That's nice. Butterfly says death is letting go. It is. But it's hard to let go, isn't it? It's not an easy thing. And sometimes we don't get a choice because it's gone, it's taken. But then I guess we still have to get to that point of that, as I mentioned, that acceptance. Cindy, oh, thank you, Cindy. Love your channel. That's really nice of you to say. Thank you. Transformation year. Yeah, it's the other side of the coin, isn't it? No, you don't need to be sorry, Emma. No, honestly, it was a really good question, and I kind of been thinking for the last few weeks I really need to do that. So it stopped me from having to do a video on it, being able to talk about that year, the death year. Butterfly's card is Temperance for this year. That's likely my favourite card too. Oh, so obviously a nice year. And have you found that Temperance has played a part more so this year? I mean, it really gets you to think, doesn't it? Because when you think about numerology and you think about the deck and you think about the particular archetypes, You could say, well, all you're doing really is adding the numbers together, and this year's death year, so next year is going to be temperance, the year after that's going to be devil, and I think it's every 7 years or so it flips. But your birth date never changes. Your birth date will always be the constant in that equation, and the year that you're on is the one that's changing. So your life path card can never change because that date is set in stone. It's the date you were born. But each year you're adding to a part of the equation to get that sort of that nuanced kind of bit added in that you can reflect on. And I guess, 12 months is a long time. I remember when my year was the strength year, and I was thinking, man, that plays a part there, that plays a part there. And, we've pulled tarot cards every day, so they're probably all applicable in some way. But what I like about it is the fact that it gives you a chance to really focus throughout the year on the energy of one particular card and archetype and how that is, playing out through the year for you. Yes, yeah, I am. I'm okay. Again, getting to that acceptance part. Are there any upcoming decks you're excited for? Well, Sandra actually shared a new RWS. Stone the Crows. Who would have thought it? A new RWS. Let's see if I can find it. It's got a name like Weezer Tarot. It's out in September, and it's a recoloring of. I pre-bought it today because it was only £16. So I thought, right, well, whilst because it'll probably go up as we get nearer time. So I thought, well, I may as well grab it. Yes, it's called the Wiser Tarot, a new edition of the classic 1909 Smith weight deck. I love that they're putting Smith first and foremost, plus a 64-page guidebook. So that is it on Amazon. Let's get a closer up picture. So from a mass market point of view, I'm looking forward to that. So there it is, look, Wiser or Weezer Tarot. But the coloration is really nice. And they've added, which doesn't appear on the original, astrological and Hebrew symbols as well, as you can see at the bottom of the cards. So if you're into that, that's a little bit extra for you. There is melanation in there as well. So they brought it up to be more representative. But I just love the colours. Look at that sky. Ah. Here's you love temperance. There's the temperance card from it. So yes, that's a nice deck that's coming up. So that is the Wiser Tarot. So let me pop that in so you can see it. The Wiser Tarot. Okay, so that's in the comments that you'll see there. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. And then there's a couple of decks that are still. Where have I put my phone? Bear with. Even though I've got a bullet journal where because I like to write things as well, I keep them on my phone, kind of deck wish list stuff. And what I'm going to try and do, because I am limiting purchases at the moment of tarot. It's still lovely because I get, great decks like this that are sent. And my last big deck was a trade, which was with Ben, which was for Pixie's Whisper Tarot, which I'm loving, really loving. I'm pulling from that every day. What I'm going to try and do is pick something each month So on payday, just think, right, I'm just going to buy one deck, you know, and that's going to be the deck I'm going to work on for that month when it arrives. I did that back in 2018 after 2017 being, well, 16 and 17 being a year where I'm like, oh my God, I love that, click buy. And before you know it, I bought 150 decks in the space of 12 months between 2016 and 17. So as I went into 2018, I really tried to just get one deck a month. And it worked for a while. So yeah, Ali Man's Tarot. I've had so many people contact me saying, have you seen the Ali Man's Tarot? And I hadn't seen it. I've had a look. I've watched so many walkthroughs. It's the deck where it's a card from multiple decks and they're all put into one to make a complete deck. And it's just all the backs are different, obviously, because they've got the original backs. And I just think it looks amazing. So there's that one. Cosmic Visions. People keep telling me, oh, you've not got Cosmic Visions. I haven't. Fifth Spirit Tarot and the book I want to get. Playful Heart. I should probably buy first because I've had that on my wish list the longest. Possibly 2 years. I've had that on there. Somnia Tarot. Fyodor Pavlov still, and Keishabo, which is a out of print deck, but that's kind of like if I ever see it on YouTube, if I ever see it on eBay and it's a reasonable price. Islands is a sore point if you're in the UK. Is it? Do they not ship to the UK? Then you know, if it's the right price and I've got the funds and I see it, I will buy it. But it's out of print, so it's not like, oh, I'll get that next month. It's not kind of possible to be able to do that. So in terms of that question, anything I'm really looking forward to, the next payday, I'm going to get the Pam's old deck in pocket size, because on my little table next to where I sit, I keep the pocket-sized CS Tarot, and I edged it to match the backs. And I really like this. It's quite a nice size. It's not pocket size like the old CS Tarot. It's kind of like a bridge size, but it's really nice just to sit and shuffle. And I love Conrad's decks. They're great. But one of my favourites of his is Pam's old deck. Really like this. It's one of my favourite vintage type decks, and there are many. I also really like the Los Caribbean vintage deck. But this one is quite subtle, and I love the backs. And so I really want to get a pocket size of that from MPC. So that's probably going to be the next purchase. And I want to be able to get a tin for the full-sized CS Tarot version 3, because at the moment that is just sitting on a shelf here. You've all seen this. I've not long done a walk through this again. I've edged that as well. Look at those colours. Such a gorgeous deck. Look at the sharp clarity. So I don't want that to get too dirty, so I want to get a tin for that as well. So I've got a few things to order from MPC next time, but then come July, I want to try and knock a deck off from the wish list. So I hope that's answered your question, Sandra. Loss and grief can be devastating indeed. Yeah, it really is. It takes such a long time for things to feel normal. When it's a very close personal loss, you still forget. You forget things, even though it's foremost in your mind. You still forget, and you still think. Like when I was at the seaside, there'd be something I'd always do, like, I'll pick something up and and then I think, oh, I've not, and then you think, So there's little things like that. So it is an adjustment. Christina, grief is a lifelong process, in my opinion. I agree. Debbie's card of the year is death too. Loss is a real pain and also a reminder of eternal love. I have a tower year due when I'm 79. Gosh. Oh, tower years. That's only a few years away from my year as well, isn't it? Unless it flips by then. Did a fab course on this today and found out I got married and divorced on a wheel year, 18 years apart. Wow, that is cool. My year card is the Chariot, hard work coming up. Yeah, holding on to those reins, not to be swayed and taken off track. Marty, hello. Just popping in to say hi to you, Simon, and everyone else. Can't stay, but sending love. Well, I'm quite a bit behind, so it could be that you've already gone now. They don't put timestamps anymore. They used to put timestamps, so I could see where I was up to and how far behind I was, but now they don't. Do you just randomly draw a card of the year? Is it based on numerology? Oh, so I'm probably way behind because, yeah, I've answered that. Simon, I remember when you started with the card of the year, you had the Tower. I guess it's our fault. Did I have the Tower? I thought my first ever one was the Moon. I thought my first one was the Moon. And then I've gone up and then it's switched round. And I think now I started with Strength. I could be wrong. The old grey matter isn't what it used to be. Mo Tarot Witch. Simon, it's 6:20 a.m. here in New Zealand. And I've got my queer tarot and I'm in love with it all. My love and blessings to you. 6:20. It's now nearly 10 to. Am I half an hour behind in the chat? I can't be. Emma's in a devil year. Last year, my card of the year was Justice, and I finally did get it in my life for so many years. Good. Frank is waiting on Heavenly Bloom Tarot of US Games. I think it's amazing. Heavenly Bloom. I need to have a look at that. See what Heavenly Bloom looks like. Heavenly Bloom Tarot. Ooh. Oh, is it photorealism? That's the picture for it. I can't see any images though. Pre-order available late June 2022. Fantasy realms, beautiful floral elements throughout. I wish there was some more images. Let me get to Google Images, see if it brings up. Oh yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, they're nice cards. I'm not sure it's for me. It might be a little bit too fantasy for me, but nice artwork. So I'm just going to try and do it as well, one depth a month. Yeah, Aliman is a sore point in Newcastle. I saw that come up on there, but I'm not quite sure why. Is it? Yeah, Becca said, is it shipping? Fyodor Pavlov deck was picked up by US Games for mass market. Cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. I didn't know that, so that's good. That would be an easy one to tick off then. Christina brought Playful Heart, but not sure that I can connect with it. Is it the simplicity of it, the kind of the childlike elements, or can you not put your finger? Sometimes we just can't put our finger on why we don't gel or connect with a deck. And then sometimes it's glaringly obvious why we can't. But yeah, it's not always easy to say, is it? I backed it on Kickstarter and they kept coming up with different excuses why they haven't shipped decks to the UK. Oh, so people who have backed it then haven't got it yet. Well, there's going to be no chance of me getting it then, is there? As somebody that didn't back it. Oh, that's a shame because it's top of my list and it's the one that I keep going and watching walkthroughs of the most. I did that a lot with this deck with Pixie's Whisper. I just kept going and watching walkthroughs and thinking, oh, I love it. I'm looking for a belt holder for my tarot. A belt holder? That's quite a cool idea. Simon, do you always have a deck of cards with you wherever you go? Yes. Yes, I do. I always have a set in my satchel, my work bag. There is a set in the car, not the work car. I don't think that would go down too well, but my own personal car. Yeah, there's always one with me. Most times, particularly if I'd gone and see my sister or somebody like that, if I turned up without a tarot deck. Christina's on a no-buy for the next 2 months. I shouldn't be watching this. Is there a particular reason? Is it just a personal challenge that you're setting yourself, or trying to keep some funds? Waiting today to arrive. The Shaman's Oracle. It was on back order. I love it. I've got it here next to me. I not long did a video about this deck. Oh, fab. And the book is brilliant. The book is brilliant with it. Hi all, I'm going through or coming up to my Uranus opposition. And my Saturn is in my 5th house. Yuck. I don't know what you're saying there. But I hope it, however it is, I hope it goes okay for you, Silky. How did you find your year card? So you add the dates of your birthday to the year. So mine is the 15th of October. So it's 1510, although you don't need to add O, obviously. 15102222 for 2022. So 151222. Add them all individually. If it's 22 or below, that's your card. If it was something like 25, then you'd add it again, the 2 and the 5 to make 7, which would then give you your Chariot card. Hi, Simon and chat. Hello, Adam. Just getting into tarot and loving this channel and your community. Really enjoying your videos. Thank you. But this is your community as well, Adam. So that's really nice of you to say. Thank you for the compliment. And it's lovely to have you here. And welcome. You will find being here, you know, that it is a lovely, warm community. But it's your community as well. So welcome. That's if you want it to be, of course. I'm not doing readings, Rose, but thank you for your question. Carla, Lizzie. Hello, Simon. It's just Carla Lily. I changed my name a little. Oh, it's nice to see you. I think you changed your icon as well, haven't you, Carla? Is it Carla? Do we say it as Carla or is it Calla? I don't know how you can type and tell me that. I suppose you could type Carla with an R, so I know it's pronounced that way. Where are we buying decks? I used to get from Book Depository, but since Brexit, they are all showing as unavailable. Really? Because Book Depository is worldwide, isn't it? Free shipping worldwide. Oh, that's nice coffee. What would your perfect deck be, Simon? Says Learning the Path. What would my perfect deck be? I think I've got it. I think my Blushing Fool is the perfect deck. Which is this one in a tin. I can't ask for, this is 51 years old. I don't think I could ask for anything more perfect, just because of the feel, the smell, the colours, sharpness. It's just perfect. And the perfect deck for me is RWS. So I think this is the perfect deck. Obviously, the unicorn deck, the kind of the crown, the imperial state crown of all decks would be a Pame. But I don't think I'd be able to use that like I use my Blushing Fool. I suppose what would be really nice, with all the different RWS versions that are out there, and even the one I just showed you with the Wiser tarot that's coming out, the ultimate, and they almost did it. US Games almost did it when they did the Pamela Coleman-Smith tarot a couple of years ago in the green box, would be a beautiful, maybe even, and I know not everybody likes rose petal, but I do, and we've never had an RWS on rose petal. So maybe a nice cardstock, maybe 350 to 400 GSM, beautifully gilded. Doesn't even have to be metallic gilding, just a nice matte gilding. With either like the cracklebacks, cracklebacks, 350 to 400 GSM. Because remember, the original Pame was a thick deck. Pame design, nice gilding in a beautiful box. That would be the RWS to end all of our RWSs, in my opinion. So I hope that's answered the question. There are decks that I'd still love to see made. I'd still love to see a Rocky Horror deck made, because I think that would be fab. And I've got a connection with that film, having played a part in it when I was very young. Not in the film. I wasn't in the film. Don't go renting the video to see if you can spot me. We did a travelling show with Parkour Leisure for 2 years, 87 and 88. And I played Frankenfurter back then. Yes, there are photographs as evidence. It's the art style of the Playful Heart, very garish. Oh, okay. I mean, I've only seen walkthroughs of it, and there's just something that appeals to my inner child with Playful Heart. And that would be why I'd get it. Does anybody have the Divine Feminine Tarot? I do. I've got it somewhere. Since I rearranged all my decks as well and put some in the back room, there's lots of tuck boxes down here. But yeah, I do have it. I have Divine Masculine as well. I believe people in the US have their deck, Ali Man's Tarot. Yeah, they must have, because I've seen so many walkthroughs of it, Sandra. So I have Ali Man's, but can't get my hands on the booster packs. Yeah, see, I'm not too bothered about the booster packs. I didn't go into the boosters. What was that other one called? It's kind of like the pulp of tarot. I enjoyed the ones that I got, but I didn't go on and get all the kind of extra suits and stuff like that. I love the Shaman's Oracle. I have a thing for cave paintings. Yeah, it's a really cool deck. I don't understand astrology at all. It's over my head. Yeah, and then Silky, I knew it was about astrology. When I said I don't understand what you're saying, it was just my attempt at humour, because it's just, yeah, like another language to me. I have the early edition of the Shaman's Oracle, but haven't used it much. Everybody's saying hello and welcome to Adam. Kala with a flat A. So it's Calla, because not a flat A would be Carla. Yeah. Well, nice to see you again. Christina, a lovely accessible book on astrology. Oh. Yeah, the card you love. Pam A says Becca. Becca knows me well. Simon has his deck. Simon has his deck. As in, like, the ultimate. Oh, the Hermit's mashup deck. Yeah, I mean, that's one that I'm really enjoying. This is out constantly on my desk as well. So that's the Hermit's Hybrid Tarot, which I kind of feel like it was commissioned for me, because there's this beautiful card. It has the same design backs as the Pam's old deck, but it has the playing card pips. But he did such a beautiful job. Look at the gilding, gorgeous gilding on this deck. And it uses playing card pips, but it's got playing card pips that are Victorian. So it's really nice. It's got like a yellowy, tinty vibe to it. These are the courts. These are the aces, which are gorgeous. And you can use it, obviously, use it as a playing card deck, or you can use it as a tarot. Yeah, so that's the Hermit's Hybrid Tarot, also by Conrad Stein. So yeah, that's a great deck, and one that's right up there. What do we feel about mashup decks? Do we enjoy them? Your Blushing Full deck is beautiful. Thank you. I love it. I love it so much. Hermit's Cave Mate one. I would buy it. Yeah. It's a shame that MPC don't do the rose petal finish, really. Or, I mean, you can get thicker cardstock with the one that's in my work bag is thicker cardstock. Or what's this one? No, I can't. No, not that one. Where have I put it now? This one. This is MPC's thicker cardstock. This was a deck that was also created by Conrad, and it's got it was his own battered and well-used RWS deck that he did thousands and thousands of readings with clients with, and no matter how battered it got, they just wanted this one. Look at that, all the scratches and everything. But you can get this really nice thick cardstock on MPC. So yeah, and I've got one like that that's not vintaged as well, in the same kind of cardstock. I really want the mashup deck as well. Dear Mike, it's still on MPC, the Hermit's Hybrid Tarot. And you can get the tin, again, if you're in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, under files, when you're in the group, go to files at the top, and all the tin cover designs are in there, and then you just download it to your own computer, drag it across in MPC, and you've got a tin design as well. Simon the Secret Movie Star. As soon as I said it, I thought, no, that didn't sound right. Not to be a pooper, but doesn't anyone ever want a different deck altogether, like Beyond Tarot or Oracle? Beyond Tarot or Oracle, what would it be? Butterfly. It's really interesting. What would it be? Because if it's divination, it's an oracle anyway. I mean, the tarot is an oracle, isn't it? So when you're saying a different deck altogether, I mean, you can get something like Dixit. You know, go to Toys R Us or somewhere like that, get the Dixit game, and you've got cards that just have images on them. There's also soul cards. That doesn't class itself as a tarot or an oracle. They're images that you can contemplate, ponder, see what it stirs up inside. Butterfly Moore says, love it, Simon. You sounded like you were describing a fine wine. Was that the deck that I wished existed? Hi, Alana. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Malamia is here. Hello, Malamia. Joining while waiting at an appointment, so can't have audio on. But hello, people, Simon and Mods. You might be able to lip read. Hello, Malamia. I created my own deck. You are? Okay. I don't have the White Light Tarot, okay? I haven't seen it. Liminal 11 is coming out with a new Oracle deck in August called the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle. Interesting. I'm not sure if it's one I would get. I'm not really into, I'm not really into cannabis, but I'm not really into plants as much. Yeah, I'm not really into plants, vegetation, herbs. Index, do you know what I mean? People are talking about natal charts, many new decks coming out. My inner child can barely contain herself. I'm not quite sure. People talk about Gemini, Taurus. Silky says, yes, I know, nothing passes you, Simon. I haven't bought a deck since 2018. I'm a mini tarot girl, thinking of purchasing soon, but can't decide. Well, if you're into mini decks, I can highly recommend Pam's old deck in mini. And that's the next one I'm going to be getting. Nothing passes you, Simon. What did I say? Oh, when you were saying it was astrology. Yeah. I've given that book away so many times over the years, and people always love it. No math. What book have you given away? I'm not sure what book you've given away. See if there's any other questions. What time are we on? We're on 10 past. Learning astrology is a huge project. Yeah. Yes, Calla, I completely get you. I have a huge NPC list building up. NPC can be pretty addictive, like Kickstarter or anything else, can't it? And I always end up paying the higher postage price, because with NPC, if you don't, for here, and it's only coming from Germany, you can be waiting a month to 5 weeks. So I just think I can't do that. So I pay the higher, and I know I'm getting it in 2 weeks. Oh, and then Krista's asking about whether NPC shipping is expensive. I'm glad you're good, Alana. Nice to see you. I've been doing charts since the 70s. Well, the lovely Lou, do you know Lou Valcourt, who's got the channel? They did a chart for me, and it was really interesting because I was always told there was no water in my chart, and I just found that really hard to believe. But there was water in my chart, not a lot of it, but there was water there. And she sent me my chart saying, no water in your chart. I don't know. Oh, I thought MP6C decks came from China. No, Germany. Comes from Germany. Unless there's an NPC that services other parts of the world, but ours is from Germany. I just got here. All I know is I'm very stereotypical Capricorn. I'm Libra. I have done a walkthrough of the Queer Tarot on my channel. If anyone's interested, I welcome your interest. Thank you. I love it. I love the Queer Tarot. I think it's a great deck. I did a walkthrough, and then I also did Chris and I, who's here, Elemental Cartomancy, did a joint live talking about the Queer Tarot. Great deck for Pride Month as well, which we're in at the moment. Becca, the amount of times I've given a deck away and bought it again, same. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I do it. I mean, I got to the point where I just thought, just stop giving them away, or because you only end up getting it again at some point. And I just think a deck speak to you at different times. So Dreams of Gaia, I traded it at the very first tarot meetup in Nottingham with Brian Cormac Carr. I didn't trade it, I gave it him. And then I just really wanted it again, and then it's one that's out on my desk because I love it. But it obviously wasn't the time back in 2019 when I gave it away. Bye, Butterfly. Enjoy your yard work. Becca would love to get a better grip on astrology. I think I've come to the point, it's like Lenormand. I used to really, really want to work with Lenormand, and I used to see people doing walkthroughs of Lenormand, and I've got to the point now, I think, actually, I'm a tarot person, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to be into all forms of divination. And I've got Sibylla and I've got Cuppa, and they're nice. The ones I've got, I'll probably keep in the main. Definitely keep the 1889 because I think that's beautiful. But yeah, I just kind of thought, actually, it's okay that I don't really get it or don't really enjoy working with it. It's fine. It's nothing against anybody that does, obviously, but it's just not a system for me. And I've really come to peace with that. And lots of other things as well, like Kabbalah. You know, I used to spend ages reading about Kabbalah, watching videos on Kabbalah, and just didn't jive with it. But I think you do get to the point where it's okay, you know, what you jive with, and what you don't, you don't. And I don't, you know, completely dismiss it. I kind of put it on a shelf, like, not for now, you know, Lenormand, not for now. That doesn't mean that in 5 years' time, you know, I kind of feel drawn to it and start using it. It's like Oracle. I don't really use Oracle decks as much as I used to. And my journey into this world of YouTube and getting a channel was through Oracle decks. I did have a tarot deck. Hard to believe now. I did have a tarot deck, he says, until 2016. But I've really found my place with tarot, and it's just a tool I love and I'm comfortable with. So there isn't room really in my life at the moment to take on more study and stuff. Where am I up to? I've lost where I'm up to. I watched both your walkthroughs, and that's what sold me with the Queer Tarot. Love your videos, thank you. That's so. Do you make content? Well, obviously, because you said you've done a walkthrough. Let me go to your channel. Go to channel. You can do that again now from chat, which is great. And let me give you a little sub so that I can go and watch. Remember to watch you later. Oh, the whites have disappeared now. I've got normal comments by going out and coming back in. We're talking about dogs and reading charts for dogs. Stressful weekend over here, Chris. Our eldest cat is sick. Oh no. I hope things pick up on Lamia. Simon, how do you keep yourself familiar with all your decks? It's becoming increasingly difficult. I'm all right until I have a reshuffle, and then I've got to try and get them right in my head again. So in the main, I have a catalogue system called Libib. I use Libib. So everything goes in there. So I know the amount of decks I've got and what decks I've got. And then I tend to have cubbies. So if I show you there up at the top, that's all my Il Manigello decks. RWS decks go across those two. Decks by like Silicon Way. Down here is this one here is my Deviant Moon section, Robert M. Place decks and Destiny. So here is all of my tinned decks. Here are all the decks by Baba Studios. So I've got a rough idea. Then when you go further down, like down here is all the blooming tuck boxes. So there's tons there. But then I've taken nearly 200 decks into the back room. I've got another wall unit. But there's time to breathe there. Time to breathe? No, there's space for them to breathe there. I can see them all at a glance. Here, because the cub is, I can't see them all at a glance because they're in too deep. So I've got a rough idea where something is. So if you said to me, you know, like, oh, I've got a section here for classics. So if you said, right, Hanson Roberts, for example, I can go to my classics and I can grab a few. I've got Aquarian, Morgan Greer, Hanson Roberts. Behind that, I've got one JJ Swiss, Tarot of the Witches, etc., etc. Mythic Tarot, what I call the classics, and I did a video on my classic decks. So Stephanie, I hope that answered that question. I studied astrology. Still a lot of chat on astrology. Yeah, talking about Malamir's Kitty. Hope they pick up soon. How about the soft deck, Simon? The soft deck? What's the soft deck? Mike says I only had 2 decks and then I found your channel. Well, it reflects. I only had 1 deck and then I found the YouTube community. Started with a plain deck of cards and tried Lenormand, then tarot came along and now astrology, and I love all exactly when I'm drawn and curious for it all. And that's great. That's really great when you've got that sort of curiosity and appetite and time and things to be able to study and play. Simon, how do you set up your camera when you do walkthroughs? I've been trying to work it out. So for my walkthroughs, the only camera I use is an iPhone. This is an iPhone 13, so it does record in 4K. But for some reason, I can't get 4K to play, to upload to YouTube, but it will record in 4K. So it always looks amazing on the phone, not so much when it's uploaded. I have one of them where I can just pull it off and it's still protected. It's magnetic. So then I have an arm like so. And then very easily, you just open it up, put your phone in. And when I'm doing walkthroughs, you know, when I say I'll bring the camera down, I bring it down to about here. So then I can sit and I can see exactly what you'll be seeing. So I'm looking at the lens of the phone while I'm doing the walkthrough. When I first start off, and I'm showing the table, it's about here. So I can just kind of see it. And you'll see my hands underneath, you know, doing the hey up. So yeah, so that's how I do it. It's pointing down at the table. I can do face-on videos if I wanted to that way, but I tend to don't do them as much. So yeah, so it's an extendable arm. So that's how I do them. Oh, Secrets of the Hermit's Cave. Thought to be a series. So I hope that answered that, Mike. I use Libib2, says Chris, but I'm terrible for not scanning decks in. I forget. I think, did I do that one? So I'll do a search and it will say it's not there. So this has got to go into Libib, but with this being indie, I'll have to do a manual entry for that. Il Meneghello. They do a gorgeous copy of the Visconti, don't they? The Sforza, well, I've got a 1990s version that I traded. No, I didn't trade. I bought it, I think, for £100 off Patrick in the, it's in the 78 cards. Oh, I've got shorts on. And I don't like showing my legs on camera, so bear with. That didn't take long, did it? So I've got this version, which has the ribbon ties. They're a little bit frayed, the ribbons now. That's the back. And they used to do beautiful, beautiful boxes before they went to kind of the standard grey print box. So it was like a book on the shelf. These are the fronts. They've got these studs on them. And then you can slide them out because they've got like an inner fold. These are the backs, these beautiful kind of rich back. And yeah, the beautiful, the gold on this 1990s version is the best. I have seen more modern versions, but yeah, this one is just, it's stunning. It's almost like a metallic feel. It's gorgeous. So yes, that's the Visconti Sforza that they do. It's huge, huge. Make sure I pop it back properly. I've got some lovely, I love the Vachetta, Soprafino is a favourite of mine. There's so many Meneghello decks that I've got that I really, really enjoy. Let's pop that chat back on. So where was I up to? Oh my gosh, I've only got about 7 minutes. I dream of having a setup like yours, Simon. One day, not enough space. I think that's always the problem. I am running out of space, and it did mean to be able to take 200 decks off. There's about 500 here now, but 200 decks off to put in there meant I had to be ruthless and take a lot of stuff to the charity shop or throw away that was, people wouldn't want. Because I am a little bit of a hoarder, if I'm honest. They ruined Visconti for any other deck makers. I have the Il Meneghello, Tarot, that's a nice one. Yeah, very thick to shuffle. That's one I traded. I traded that because the deck that this person really, really wanted it and it was out of print. And they offered a deck in exchange that I really, really wanted. And I was kind of like, oh, do I? But I made the decision at the time. So it is what it is. Simon, maybe someone can design your tarot shelves like a library, a wall of decks. Yeah, I want to try. I've got a couple of, like, if you saw when I've turned it round, where the tins are, I've got those kind of step shelves that fit in, so you can display them quite nicely. But I can't do that for the lower ones because there's just too many decks. They have to be kind of put in. Do you read Toth? No, I don't. I can Tarot and Witchery. I kind of have a bit of another aversion to Toth. It's not for me. Just not for me. Not there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me. I have a small black light too that I use at night. Yeah, I've got some lovely decks by the guys over at Tarot Collectibles. like the Neon Palm, and Psychedelic Space. I've got so many of their decks, and I've got the Blacklight Tarot, which is gorgeous. They all work beautifully under a black light. I need to get a new one of those for my phone. Oh, the bendy arms. Yeah, thank you, Simon. I must get an extendable arm. They're quite inexpensive. I think I paid about £12 for that on Amazon. Impeccably organised. It takes time. It takes time and effort. I keep meaning to do a video showing how I use OBS. Yeah, that because it sounded when you tried to explain it to me once, Chris, it sounded really complicated. Really complicated. Simon, nothing wrong with legs, says Sandra. I know, but I'm self-conscious. Simon, you're such a deck tease. I've not been called that before. But I think you can get a version still of the Visconti Sforza. And I think they come in both sizes now. I mean, it's obviously not going to be the 1990s version, but I think you could still get it. And Oswaldo Menegazi passed away, didn't he? But is Christina still holding everything together? I don't really hear much about it, but I'd imagine that she is, because she'd kind of taken over the running of the business for the last few years anyway, hadn't she? Oh, Simon, you have nice legs. Oh, Alana, stop. That looks like an antique deck. Yeah, Carla, 1990s version is the one. And it was the one I wanted. So when Patrick offered, I think he'd got 2 copies and he offered to sell me one, I was like, it's a lot of money, especially at the time, because I was just kind of coming into the community and stuff. I thought, well, it's a lot of money, but then it is the one with that gold paint print it's stunning. Hello, Denise. Nice to see you. Show us your legs, Simon. Stop it, you lot. Simon, remember years ago, you didn't know you were live and you were, yes. I walked past in my underpants. I was setting everything up. I used to use a phone then to go live, and it was on the arm and I was setting it up ready. I went into the kitchen to put the kettle on and it had gone live. And then hello, Angelo. Nice to see you from Athens. You're in Facebook at the moment, in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. So the others won't see you that's in the chat, but hello, Angelo. Nice to see you. Yeah, and I walked past to go to the loo because I always have a safety wee. You just have to. But you get to my time of life and you're sitting here with a big mug of coffee, chatting for 90 minutes. It's always best to have a safety wee. And I was streaming live. That video soon got took down. It wasn't staying up. Your thoughts on the Wildwood Tarot? Just start with it, love it. I've got it. It's wrong, really, because I compare it to Druidcraft, which Druidcraft will always win hands down. It's a firm favourite of mine. I like it, but it wasn't Greenwood. That's all I can say. It's a nice deck, but I want Greenwood. Caroline, at least he had his pants on. Yeah, that's one thing I'm really grateful for, because, you know, when you live alone, you don't always put clothes on. I don't want to put those images in your mind, but you don't always put clothes on. So it's past. I need to kind of wrap this up. No Thoth. Simon, you are one of the few people who say Toth the same as I do. I need to change. I just said Thoth and Toth, but I think in the main, I think I say Thoth. The Thoth. I've heard some people say tote. I'm like, how do you get tote from that? I love tarot collectibles. They're great. I really like the community. It makes me feel better and not so strange from my tarot obsession. Yeah, you're amongst friends, Mike. Let's be honest. You're not going to be judged here for your tarot collection. Between me and my 5-year-olds, I've got so many decks, books, art supplies, Legos, Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels? So many Hot Wheels. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, Night Endeavour. Simon, do you remember last year doing a live when it was so hot and we were all worried you would pass out? We insisted you go get the fan. Yes, I do remember that. And then, because I remember I got a comment from like a week or two before, people were like, what was that annoying noise all the way in the background? And I never watch my videos back. I don't, especially live. I think I used to write in the very early days just to see how it was coming across, but I don't watch them back. I don't have time. And I thought, what are they on about? When I played it, I just thought that would drive me really up the wall. It was just all the way through it. So I was like, it's going to be distracting for everybody. But you lot was like, no, go get your fan. So, we're coming into that season again, aren't we? And just scrolling down. I'm really chuckling here, Simon. I don't know why, but I'm glad. A safety wee. Do you not have safety wees? Yeah, that's what you're all laughing at. I love Druidcraft as well. I say Toth. Oh, you say Toth. Greenwood. Yeah, we love Greenwood. Druidcraft's a soul deck. Yeah, Druidcraft is amazing. Take care, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to get going because it's after 12:30. I will pull a card from Granny's Postcard Tarot. So let me get ready for the exits. If you haven't watched the walkthrough yet, it only went up about 11:30 this morning UK time because I collected it from the sorting office. It's a beautiful deck. It's from Ukraine. As I'm sure you know, they could probably do with support. Cardstock is on that beautiful art card, which really makes the colours stand out. I mean, there's even a card, a Christmassy one there. I love it. So let's have a message for the week ahead. What do we need to focus on? Okay. Oh my God. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. We had death. After a 20-minute conversation, when somebody asked me how my card of the year is going, this is how my year is going, folks. Okay, a message for us all to focus on for the week. As I can only really echo what I said earlier. There's only one certainty in life, and that's that change comes, and that, we say death and taxes, but death is change. It's the cycle of life, okay, but it doesn't always mean a physical death. It means an ending of sorts, a parting of the waves. But with that comes an opportunity for a new beginning, a new chapter. So we can't fight the inevitable. All we can do is prepare ourselves the best way we can by embracing that change when it comes. No matter how painful it is, we find our way to get through it, our coping mechanisms, and we get to that point where we start to accept the loss, whatever that loss is, and then look at trying to find a way to realign ourselves, readjust to the new way of life. I love this image. This is somebody, you know, whose ship has come in to take away somebody to go to war or battle, and there is that ending, there is that parting. But for both of them, there's new chapters. One that's going off, one that stays behind. How do they adjust? How do they, you know, continue to keep going forward? So we have to accept the inevitable. We have to try and accept the cycle of change, align ourselves, adjust ourselves, take time. There's no rushes, you know. We don't have to. And I've just seen I've still got be right back as well on there, which is really annoying. Yeah, we don't have to rush anything, you know. Just take our time, and we'll get there. That's unbelievable, isn't it? That card came up after such a chat about death card today. Thank you for being here, everybody. It's been lovely to connect with you, as it always is. Have a fantastic weekend. Do look after yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Give yourself time to just enjoy every moment. And I'll be back, no doubt, in the week or next weekend for another Cuppa. Thank you for being here. Look after yourselves. Go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.